whole family was Army, Navy, so I want to make a little change in the bloodline, so I chose Marines.
Less than 1% of the U.S. population serves in the U.S. military. Those men and women just gained 60 new recruits from southern New Jersey.
I always want to help people. That's about it.
As you can imagine, enlisting is a huge deal for not only the men and women that are enlisting, but also for their parents. And it's quite a decision to join right out of high school. Have you always wanted to do this?
Since freshman year.
The nonprofit Our Community Salutes had their 8th annual recognition ceremony in Voorhees, New Jersey, to tell those families that their decision was a good one and that the military has their back. The room was filled with over 400 people who heard motivational and inspiring message from the highest of military professionals in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and Air Force.
It was a beautiful event. It's such a sense of community.
The Lieutenant Governor, Kim Guadagno, was also there.
I'm really here because I'm supposed to give the mother's perspective. I'd rather be introduced instead of Lieutenant Governor to that guy. No, it's Christy. I'd rather be introduced as Kevin's mom.
Alex got to sit down with the acting Secretary of the Army, Patrick Murphy.
I mean, to be with these young Americans who are really committing themselves to our nation. All of them will leave our military with the love of country stamped in their heart. It's pretty special to be here on day one.
Patrick Murphy is an Iraq War vet, the first Iraq War vet elected to Congress from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and has served as acting Army Secretary for about a year. We were talking to these young people who were just starting their military careers, but we focused a lot on the stories here about veterans, the plights that they find when they come out of the service, and the tragedies like Charles Ingram III, the vet that burned himself alive in Northfield.
Every day there's 22 veterans who commit suicide, but 18 of those 22 aren't in the VA system. We need these young Americans, you know, when they serve in our ranks, we close ranks, we take care of them when they're in. But when they leave, we need to make sure if they need the resources that they have them.
He says the Army is working to help make the transition from soldiers to civilian life easier and start while soldiers are still in uniform.
First, we're gonna make sure that we have their emails to keep in touch with them. Secondly, we're gonna ask them. We're gonna say, can you please go back to that career center, that recruitment center back in your hometown? Stop in and say, hey, I'm Patrick Murphy. I just got done serving in Iraq, taught at West Point, and can I be helpful?
Now, it was my first interview with Patrick Murphy as acting Army Secretary, and apparently also the last, because just hours after we talked, the Senate voted to confirm Eric Fanning to be Secretary of the Army. Fortunately, Patrick Murphy is Under Secretary of the Army. He was only serving as acting Secretary temporarily, so he's going to stay at the top ranks of the Defense Department, bringing a veteran's point of view to the military, which is rare in the top civilian levels today.
What I love about this story is you're always talking about that transition out. And very rarely do we talk about that transition in. You see these smiling, young, bright, patriotic faces, and they see a great opportunity ahead of them.
It is a great opportunity. I went in the Army straight out of high school. I had been accepted to college, but I didn't know what I wanted to study. So I went for 2 years. I wasn't even old enough to drink legally when I was a veteran. I had college money coming out and a better idea who I wanted to be.
In no way, shape, or form can this hurt me. It'll only advance my resume.
I enlisted after college, so I was able to drink.
Well, yeah.